I've always been overweight. I was always the overweight one in my class in school. I was the biggest in the class in primary school, the biggest in the class in secondary school, the biggest girl in the dance class. I was always the big, bubbly girl, really. I had a best friend in food. I had a massive food addiction from a young age, rewarded myself with food. I obsessed over food, a really violent relationship with food. Comfort ate. All of my happiness was based around food, what I could eat, when I could eat it. I would eat 6 packets of crisps in a row, no problem at all, hide them in my bedroom and tell my mum I never did it. It was like a drug. That's the only way I can describe it. Food was my drug. Through no fault of anybody's, like my mother always made us really nice home cooked meals and, you know, was always really into being healthy and that kind of thing. So these things can just happen, like, who knows, I probably had anxiety from a very young age, eating so much that like you're pushing the food or the feelings so far down into your body that they just can't surface. So you just keep stuffing the food in and stuffing the food in and stuffing the food in so that your emotions don't come out. It's great to be able to talk about that now because I feel like I'm on the other side and I'm recovering, I don't know, like from this addiction. And it's nice to be able to talk about it so openly and honestly without feeling touchy, because I probably spent 10 years of my life being touchy about all things weight loss, health. I want to talk in this video about losing weight to become a better mother and healthier. Is obviously makes me feel better in myself, makes me feel like I look better, and there's obviously a vanity thread there. Like I wouldn't be human if there wasn't. I like getting dressed up and wearing nice clothes. I like being able to do that in a smaller size. But aside from all that stuff, it's mostly about my health, it's mostly about my future. And when I think of health and my future, I think of my son, like my amazing little boy who is 2 years of age in like 2 weeks' time, and who deserves the best future possible, who deserves to have a mother who can run around the park after him, who can lift him up when he needs me to have a mother who's around for as long as possible. That is really important to me, and that is the motivation behind this journey. When I was younger, I joined Slim & World, Weight Watchers, did the cabbage soup diet, did calorie counting, joined my fitness pal, joined mini mins, had like online profiles, had a food diary online, on paper, in a book. I read the books. I was going to be the next girl to do the next big thing, and I was dreaming big. I even set up a like £50 weight loss challenge to raise money for charity, and I did actually lose a bit of weight. I ended up raising like over €1,000 for charity, and I think I lost like 15 pounds or something, but then I got pregnant. Like, anyway, that's just how my story has happened so far. At one point in my weight loss journey, I think I was around 16 and I lost like 2 stone, and I felt really good about myself. And that's the only time I ever remember kind of making progress and feeling like this could be my time. But it never happened in the end. I ended up piling on more weight. I can't really blame pregnancy or having a baby on my weight, because the day that I found out I was pregnant, I was at my absolute heaviest. Since that day, I have lost 50 pounds. I've lost like 43 pounds with Slimming World, but before Slimming World I had lost like a half a stone already. The day that I found out I was pregnant, I remember seeing the number on the scale and thinking, oh my God, I am going to have to be rolled out of the hospital when I give birth. And I was terrified. I'd given birth to my baby and him being like suffocated by my body or something. It was a horrible feeling. My weight was, you know, monitored to a certain extent through my pregnancy, and I had to go for the gestational diabetes checkup because my BMI was whatever, in an unhealthy range, so they had to keep an eye on it. Thankfully I didn't get the gestational diabetes, but and that's not the only reason why people are checked for that either, by the way. But I remember thinking, I can't afford to put on the amount of weight that normal people put on when they're pregnant. Like, some of my friends had put on like 2.5 stone, 3 stone, one friend put on 3.5 stone. I knew I couldn't do that because at that point I was risking probably having a heart attack. So throughout my pregnancy, I tried not to put on too much weight. In the end, I ended up putting on, I think, 15 pounds in my pregnancy, which is nothing. Like, most people put on at least double that. The day I gave birth to Billy, I weighed myself and saw a number that I was really scared of. But 2 days after I gave birth, I was actually right back to my pre-baby weight, which was like 15 pounds lighter, but was also my heaviest ever true weight. Now, obviously, the 15 pounds that I put on when I was pregnant was just literally baby and fluid and whatever. So I was really happy that that didn't stay. but also I was like, I have to do something. I was breastfeeding, I was hungry all the time, I just wanted sweet stuff. People were calling over to visit Billy and they were bringing me, you know, like cakes and biscuits, and you know, I just kind of enjoyed that time and just had whatever I wanted to have, and sort of maybe told myself that breastfeeding was helping more than it was, and found myself to be not gaining weight but not losing weight. So I just kind of stayed around the same weight. So still my heaviest weight ever. Then my sister wanted to join Slimming World and I just was not feeling it at all. My sister wanted to lose like 2 stone. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to lose at least 3 or 4 stone. It's never gonna happen. I've done this a million times before. I can't afford it. I can't afford to give up that time during the week because I have like work to do. Excuses, excuses, excuses. I went along reluctantly and I've never looked back since. It was the best thing I ever did. It was August, so it was like 9 months ago. And since then I have lost 3 stone and it's still going, it's still happening. It's been slow and steady. It's been around £1 a week. I've had gains after holidays. I've had gains after Christmas. I've had random for no reason gains. I've had big losses. I've had little losses. I've had stayed the same when I deserved a loss. I've had everything. But overall, every single month, I weigh less than the month before, and it's unreal. It is the best feeling in the world. I have more energy. I can like run after Billy for a longer period of time. I even like feel like I need less sleep. I know that sounds mental, but I just have more get up and go in me. I just feel healthier. I just feel happier. And I had no idea that being overweight had such a massive impact on my confidence in myself. I would consider myself to be a confident person. I always have been. It's why I started my blog. It's why I started vlogging. I'm confident in the person that I am. So for me, I just thought that weight and being overweight just reflected kind of confidence in what I wore and how I looked on camera, or how I don't know, came across in a picture. But it actually is unbelievable how many areas of my life that it has affected positively since I've lost weight. I'm more confident answering the phone to people and answering like questions. I'm more confident putting my leap card in the machine on the bus and smiling at the driver and just saying good morning. I am more confident when I get a notification on Facebook to say somebody has tagged you in a photo or someone has uploaded a photo of you. That used to send me into a panic. I would be riddled with absolute fear for that photo, because a photo taken by somebody else meant that it was a photo of what I actually looked like. The photos that I was putting up on Facebook and Instagram and anywhere else on the internet were photos that I took. Selfies from certain angles where I looked a certain way, filters were my friends, covering up certain parts of my body. It was not a true example of what I looked like just in general. So I hated the thoughts of people taking photos of me, and ironically I'm always on camera, I'm always taking videos and photos, but I just know what angles to take them from. Since then I find that when people put photos of me on Facebook, I'm like, that's what I look like now. I'm not an oil painting, but that's me, and I'm happy, and a hell of a lot happier than I was 9 months ago. It's amazing looking back now, the kind of, you know, language I used to use when I spoke with myself. I became the kind of funny overweight person. I remember my mother telling me to stop making jokes about being overweight. It used to make her feel uncomfortable because obviously her heart was breaking for me. If I was in a situation with people that I didn't know or people that I did know, you could be fairly sure that within 5 minutes I would make a joke about me being overweight. And the reason why I did it, and it's so obvious to other people, but I thought I was being really clever at the time, was because I knew what I looked like. And I had this horrible fear that other people would think that I didn't know what I looked like. So I thought that people would look at me and think, God, she probably thinks she looks great, but like little does she know. So I wanted to get there first and let them know, oh, I know that I'm overweight. I know that I look like this. I know, I'm aware. So I'm going to get there first, and I'm going to say it before you have the opportunity to think it or to say it to me. And that's really sad. Like, it's sad to think back. It's amazing like how clear I can see it now. Back then I thought that I was being super clever and that people couldn't see through that, but they could, because now when people do it I can relate to it so much, and I'm like, oh my God, stop it, you don't need to do that. And also I want to tell the person, you can totally come past this point in your life and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's been a pretty crap couple of months for me for lots of reasons. My dad is sick We've had 2 bereavements in the family. They were within 5 weeks of each other. My nanny and granddad passed away. There's been a lot of bad news, a lot of grief, a lot of good news as well. Obviously, in my last video you'll have seen I got engaged 2 weeks ago. I've got my engagement cards there and my lovely flowers from the ladies at Family Friendly HQ. But in general, it's been a pretty tough couple of months, and the only thing I can think of is that I think the reason why I'm doing it now, and I've never done it before, I'm actually losing weight. I'm actually technically, right now, in this moment, a healthy weight within my BMI. I still want to lose another like stone and a half or whatever to get to my goal weight, but I'm happy, and I'm happy with it happening slowly, and I'm not in any rush at all. I'm comfortable in my own skin, and that's an amazing feeling. I've gone from a size 20, pretending I was an 18 where I couldn't actually close my trousers, to having size 14s that are now too big on me. I'm probably like a 13 if there was such a thing. But I think what happened for me was I realised that this was the only thing in my life that I had real control over the last 6 to 9 months. And I just said, you know what, I can't control that, but I can control this. This is something I need to do for me. This is something I need to do for my family, for my son, for my future. And I want to be a good example for my son. I want him to look at me and see a happy, confident person who goes for her dreams, who makes things happen, and who doesn't let a number on the scales and the way she feels about her body hold her back, because it did. And emotionally it held me back, but physically it held me back. It is harder to lug around that 3 stone of weight than it is to lug around my body now. Like, that's just black and white. It was harder to walk up the stairs. It was harder to button my trousers. It was harder to have a shower. It was harder to blow dry my hair. Life was harder. And I feel now, even if I was to stay at this weight for the rest of my life, I would be happy. But I know I'm going to get to my goal weight. I don't even know what that weight is yet, but it's probably another like stone and a half, another 20 pounds maybe. If I was to lose that in the next like 6 months, I'd be over the moon. Sooner, even better. But I'm not in any rush. I'm enjoying food. I'm enjoying my life. I am a foodie. I love food. I love cooking. I love watching cooking programs. I think food is there to be enjoyed. I'm not one of these people that thinks food is fuel. I wouldn't be into like clean eating. I like elements of it, just like I like changing my diet up, you know, from week to week, and my menu from week to week. I like carbs, I like bread, I love fruit, I love veg, I love salad. I also love chocolate. I also love crisps. I like takeaways. I'm a normal person, but my addiction to food, I really think it's gone. My comfort eating, it's gone. I don't eat when I'm sad now. I don't eat when I'm happy now. I have treat days, I enjoy myself at the weekend, I have what I want, and I get straight back on plan. My emotions and my mood doesn't affect the way I eat, and I never in a million years thought that I would be able to say those words on camera. I urge you not to wait till tomorrow, not to wait till next week, not to wait till Monday, not to wait till after your holiday or after the wedding or after that party you're going to. Do it now. Every single meal is an opportunity to change. My path has been Slimming World. My path has been using Slimming World in my own unique way. I don't have sins during the week usually. I save them all for the weekend. It's not necessarily advocated by Slimming World. It's kind of how I do it. It worked for me because at the weekend that was my opportunity to sort of ruin the diet in previous attempts. I'd go to a wedding or I'd go to a party, I'd eat the wrong foods, I'd have a gain and I'd give up and I'd say, well, you know what, I've ruined that. Now I go to the party, enjoy the food, get straight back on track the next morning. If I get a gain that week, I say grand, it'll be gone next week, and it is. As I said, I have gains. It hasn't been loss. It hasn't been big losses. If I stuck to the plan a little bit differently, I would have been at my goal weight 6 months ago. But if I had stuck to the plan in any other way than I am now, I would have given up 6 months ago. I just know my personality and I know what works for me and what doesn't. And it's took me a long time to get to this point that I can recognise those things in myself. So do it now. Do it with me. I'm going to be vlogging about my Slimming World journey a lot more. I'm also going to be talking about my new wardrobe that I need to just create because all of my clothes don't fit me. I'll just show you this. This dress is like a size 16, but like it's a stretchy dress, so it's fine. But it's absolutely like swimming on me. It has no shape to it whatsoever. And it's kind of a nice complaint. But like, just aside from all the superficial stuff, aside from how it feels to look better, it's about health. It's about family, it's about the future, and it's about Billy. And I truly believe losing 3 stone has made me a better mother. Hands down has made me a better mother. I have more patience. I have more joy, I have more energy, and I think I'm going to be around for a lot longer than I would have been had I not started this journey. Thanks for watching.